I think I can hide pink eye with clear lens glasses. That's why you trust me as your health guru, and I'm gonna help 10 people right now. There's something about you that is so attractive, but it's definitely not your appearance. I think it's how you talk. Thank you. Thank you. I find being a C-level celebrity where your genetics were altered with at birth, something went wrong in the birthing process, you have like malfunctioning nose patterns and hair where it doesn't need to be, you can still be a successful person in our world. You don't have to be a Brad Pitt. I don't even want to be. I would hate to. Is there a bug on my neck? It was my tag. Casey, have you stopped consuming avocados? Do you eat them with veggies only? Keep up. That you're asking fruitarian level questions here. We've moved on. My diet's like 90% avocados now. It's avocado based because there's no other options. Dr. G, what am I supposed to eat? There's nothing allowed on this protocol. I am losing my mind slightly. It's all flax seeds and flax oil. And it's like, you want something else? Here's some avocados. No other fats. Can't have much fruit, so don't eat that. Starches? No, not on the healing program. Just have some fats. Avocados. Love that texture. Not getting sick of those. Just chop those up in a salad. We'll sprinkle a little something on there. A little sea salt. Is that allowed? Yeah, actually, in too much amounts, weirdly enough. You're allowed salt like a teaspoon a day you're supposed to aim for. And I'm like, how could you even do that? I don't get it. So yes, I eat lots of avocados, way too many, and shopping for them is a pain in the bitch. I'm getting sick of it. Sick of the ripening schedule. Frickin' 25 avocados in my fridge. I hate my life. What's the argument against people saying that plants being fed to animals are stuff you couldn't eat anyway? It's certain. Look, I'm not even gonna read the rest of your crop death bullshit. You're trying to justify some shit. I get it. You're a meat eater. You feel guilty. You're like, oh, the corn wasn't going to be fed. It's bad corn. People grow corn to suck. They hope it sucks. And then they feed it to animals. Look, whatever that argument you're trying to make, I see it as plain and simple. We don't have to go into these details. You have one earth where there's vegetables everywhere, fruit trees, nut trees. Can you imagine a frickin' almond tree? Never even seen one. That's our earth. Hippies underneath a tree, relaxing, reading, maybe playing a game of frickin' lawn darts. So happy. Versus the meat. Oh, I touched the microphone. Meat world. Cows everywhere. It's just fart land. It's poo everywhere. It's a desolate, because they ate up all the grass and then they're looking for buckets of corn. There's poo. There's frickin' chickens following the cows, trying to pick mites off the shins. That's your world. I don't need that life. There's not enough grass on this earth to feed cows, to feed humans. It's like a secondary mechanism. Just eat the plants, you freak. All the foods that are grown to feed cows and chickens are soy, corn, wheat. Not even human foods. So like that is your world. Big feedlots of cows pooing everywhere, and then brown fields of corn and wheat. You freaking gluten bitch. That ain't my life. I want fruit trees. I want to climb it. Little tree house in there. Ants everywhere. That's fun times. Hi VP, just curious, what made you want to stay vegan? I was watching one of your older videos where you tried carnivore. You said it worked well for you. Oh, did I? Did it continue working well? Did you watch the season 3 of that show? It minimized your ulcerative colitis symptoms to a degree. I'm not vegan or carnivore myself. Just wondering what made you do a 180 on the food. I've never done that. There's no proof. Food said helping yourself with your symptoms. Initially, yes. My first couple weeks on the plan, I was shocked at how much better my gut felt. It was the first time where I was just like, my God, there's no pain whatsoever. I can press in here. I'm like searching for pain. That did not continue. Eventually, I had some pain. I was digging and I found the pain. But then it was like the fatigue and the skin never cleared. And it was nausea all the time and joint pain. There was a point in Thailand when I moved to Hua Hin. I felt like a 90-year-old man with the hip pain. I was like, ow, I could barely move. I was like, what is this? People say, oh, oxalate dumping. It's uric acid accumulation from protein-rich nitrogen sources, animal-based in their karmic patterns that kill you from the inside. Karmic death from meat acids. So it worked until it didn't. And now, even though I'm on a high-fat diet, I'm almost never nauseous. It's not the same. Sometimes I feel a little queasy. There are times. But for the most part, like, I'm eating tons of fat, if not more fat than on carnivore, and I don't get that same nausea because I can mix it with the greens, which help, and plant fats are so much milder. You stupid carny fats. Where do you get your fat-soluble vitamins? Sounds like a fruitarian question, Mr. Late to the dinner party. We're on high fat now, so those are abounding us. Vitamin A, D, E, K. Those are the fat-soluble vitamins he's squirming about. Vitamin A is converted from beta-carotene, and just for you freaks who think, oh, I saw a study that the conversion rate was low. It was low from beta-carotene to vitamin A. For a reason, probably. Don't quote me on that. Most likely, whenever someone says like, oh, we couldn't convert omega-3s to DHA very highly, it's only like a 5% conversion. Oh my God. Probably for a reason that we don't need this DHA so highly. We need the parent omega-3 freak. There's probably some rare genetic disorder where you can't make any vitamin A from beta-carotene, but for those people, you just go follow that vitamin A as a toxin guy, and then you're good to go. You're happy. You're just eating white rice and beef. You're a weirdo. When it comes to vitamin D, apparently that's rat poison. So how much of that do you want to take? You have to buy a rat and then give it the amount you would take, and if the rat drops dead, you back it off by 1,000 milligrams. That's what I've been doing. I don't know, man. Why, world? Vitamin D is pushed very heavily in the media. So, like, I've always been weary of it. And then my vitamin D tests show low, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then I start taking it, and I don't know that I've ever felt a benefit from the rat poison supplementing. But whatever. I take it sometimes. And it's supposed to come from the sun, but it's probably very different. Probably very different than the rat poison we take in supplements. Vitamin E, that's covered somewhat. Nuts and seeds, not that I'm allowed any. Just the flax seeds. Avocados. You don't need a ton. It comes with the food. Unless you're a carnivore, you barely get any. You better be supplementing. Oh no. My carnivore diet's so unnatural. Vegans need B12. I need vitamin E and vitamin C and calcium. Oh no, where's my potassium? Oh, help. Water. Is that allowed? It's a plant. And vitamin K abundant in the green leafy vegetables that I'm forced to eat 1.5 pounds of every day. And K2 is made from the K1, if you didn't know that, by your bacteria. So it probably is enough. Sorry for such a late comment, but currently starting the high fruit diet. If I were to eat fats later in the day, which would be most appropriate? Avocados, nuts. If it's me, most fruitarians go with the avocado occasionally, and they do like 1/4 of it, and then it browns in their fridge, and they're like, why didn't I just eat the whole thing? Eat one every 3 days instead of 1/4 every day, you brown avocado loser. Or you go flax heavy, doing the hypernourishing with fruitarian style, mixing it to your heart's content. They taste like nothing, but that's your punishment for making mistakes earlier in life. So you get a ton of flax seeds. Apparently they're impossible to collect anyway. It's the most unnatural food. I heard Doug Graham talking about flax seeds. Like, yeah, you get a bunch in your hand. By the time you have like 6 of them, they've already blown away in the wind. Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit. But flax is a tool that we can somehow create. Sure, you kill 3 gophers per flax plant. That's fine. This is the vegan way. I don't know how you're going to consume them. Ground flaxseed or chia in some type of pudding with a berry. It's going to be gross and nasty, but you get it in there. You're not having any fun. Avocado's at least kind of fun, unless you have to force feed yourself 4 of them a day. Got a question? I'm a 96 kilogram meat eater, but really I eat kind of everything. I do fad diets, but now it's time to slim a bit. My main deal is joint pain, Do you suffer from joint pain on a fruitarian diet? Of course not. I'm fruitarian. I was. Here's what I've noticed when it comes to pain in the body. It comes and goes. On the fruit diet that I was just on, I think I was the most pain-free I've ever been. Flexible, things were great, no hip pain. Y'all remember how my hip used to go out and it's like this pinched nerve? That just came back on my oxalate heavy approach. So now I have some pain again. It's not like old man carnivore pain, but it's somewhat there. So like if you want to get rid of joint pain, this should be doing it. For all I know, this is a healing reaction where the flax seeds are just going to work and they're fixing everything. It's like, yeah, just stick with this, buddy, one more week and you'll be free. Could be that, or I'm just dying from the oxalate toxicity. I haven't decided which. It's one of them for sure. Fruitarian though, if you want to just pain-free body and lose all your muscle, fruit-based is your way. Get off the meat though. What are you doing? This isn't 1976 where people can just ruin our earth. The diet I'm doing right now, which is mostly cruciferous vegetables raw with a ton of flax seeds and avocados and fats, should be the most anti-inflammatory approach you could ever do. I feel increased inflammation, if anything. Not one pain I've ever had in my neck or shoulder has vanished so far in the 4 to 3 weeks I've been doing this. Only getting worse. My skin is better, but not much better. It's a great diet. I'm currently doing one meal every 36 hours. I need to lose 100 pounds, good or no? I respect a breatharian path like that. You're getting used to not eating. You're becoming more aware that the only thing you need is sunlight and rainbows and some oxygen. I want to be a breatharian. I saw that interview with Black Airbender on Jillian Barry's channel. I was like, yep, I want that magic. I want to be a majestical magnetic being that's just vibrating light everywhere. I want that. I want to be able to have powers and communicate with animals and see people's illnesses and be able to heal them with a touch. I want those powers. You're not going to get that eating food. I watch a lot of dry fasting. They're very spiritual people who get powers, and I want the powers. It's not an egotistical thing. It mostly is, actually, but I deserve superpowers, and you can't eat for that. Do you ever see a superhero movie where they're like, oh, let's have dinner? No, they're breatharians. So continue on your path. Eat less and less often. One meal every 36 days. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing it. It's up to you to catch it or not. Are you worried about the insane amounts of phytoestrogens in flaxseed oil? I keep getting this comment. People honestly think that phytoestrogens are a problem. Let me just debunk it very simply for you. Phytoestrogens are not estrogen. They behave very different. They're so much weaker than an estrogen. Really what they do is they attach to an estrogen receptor. They block real estrogen from getting in there, so they could only lower estrogen in the body. And then what they do is like a weak version of estrogen. It's and we need some. Even men need a bunch of estrogen. I get this comment a lot from people who are meat eaters, eating real estrogen all the time, and tons of it. If you're eating meat, dairy, or eggs, you're ingesting lots of actual estrogen. You're literally eating purses. Men eating cow purses. You're carrying around like a little handbag. You're not European. What do you have in there? Lipstick? I honestly don't get the argument. You can't be a meat eater and complain to me about estrogen when you're ingesting it by the bucketful, by the purseful. I don't get it. So it's no, of course I'm not worried about phytoestrogens. They're weak as hell. They're anti-cancer. They're just pure beneficial at all times. So it's no. All right, last question. Why did you stop carnivore exactly? You looked jacked on carnivore 3 years ago. Like we mentioned earlier, I will go into more detail on why I stopped. Because yes, it was a miracle diet at some point and then it went haywire and I could never get the clear skin or the energy. I could have clear skin eating mostly lard and bacon. It was literally a soup. It was just like a half pack of ground beef fried in bacon with extra lard, and it was all liquid, and my skin really cleared up. It was quite nice, but I was nauseous all the time. I had no energy. Or I could have bad skin and have somewhat decent energy while fasting. So I had to stop it because I was nauseous 90% of the time, and I was sick of that meat nausea, low energy. Sometimes while fasting, eating one meal a day, I'm just, oh, yes, amazing. As soon as I eat, I'm dead. Whereas right now, I just ate a huge meal. I feel pretty good. I'll probably go out soon, out in nature for a walk. Sometimes I feel a little dip, but usually if I have something to do, that's what I've noticed. If I have a plan before I even started eating, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out in nature soon. As soon as I finish this, eat the meal, go for a walk, no dip in energy whatsoever. I just go. Whereas carnivore, so many times, no matter what I ate, as soon as I ate, done. Like I'm taking a nap after breakfast. What kind of life is that? No energy, nausea, acne, unless I had only lard. Frickin' Kent, he was right. Herpes, that came often. Pain in the joints, that just never got better. That hip pain, it always came out. It was gone on my fruitarian thing, and now it's back a little bit. Damn it. So things happen on both diets, good and bad. It's hard to keep up with. My ethics. I like animals. I could never kill one. I've always wanted to stay vegan, and now I'm doing it. I'm filming them. I'm walking with them, feeding them. It's fun times. It's fun to see a cute animal and know that I'm no threat to you. Do you want to talk? Through the mind? Telepathically? They might. Kidney damage. Proven by my blood tests. EGFR reading, 90-year-old man kidneys. It's known, like everyone knows protein damages the kidneys, except the carnivores who are saying, no, bro, there's a guy in Alaska, he healed his kidneys on carnivore. He was eating nothing but kidney meat. Let's be real. I felt dead inside. I'm not saying I'm happy now, but I had no emotions. I wasn't able to feel happiness, just only rage. And my dreams were so violent. I was bashing people's skulls in and ripping their eyes out. Now I'm somewhat more peaceful. I sometimes have happy thoughts. I don't mind living. Sometimes. How you doing? We good? I think we learned a lot. We did. You summing that up? I would. You're not. I think I know why you're doing it. The reason you're thumbing this video down is because you are making a cage. You think that your grandmother might like being in a cage sometimes, and you feed her and she's safe. Well, maybe it's not up to you. Yeah, you ever think of that? Maybe grandmothers like running free in the forest, and it's not up to you to make them your slave, is it? Think twice about ordering a cage from cagesforgranny.com. Affiliate links are down below, by the way. I'm going to leave. You subscribing for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.